Here's how to cut out and assemble your skimmer. You can use either scissors or an X-Acto knife. If you want to use the X-Acto knife, you need to pass a safety test and be someone that I trust with a knife in their hand. You'll also have to sit at a table where it is you and one other person. So both of these will work. You just have to do extra work to use the knife. Now, I'm going to show you how to cut this guy out with an X-Acto knife because I assume that you all know how to use scissors. I'm going to use a ruler as a straight edge, and before I start cutting, make sure that you have specifically stated where you should cut and where you should not cut. Because if you make a cut where you're not supposed to, your project will be screwed up, and I don't want that to happen to you. So label your cuts. I'm going to start by cutting out the back of my skimmer. I need to make a cut here and here to make this flap. I'm going to use my ruler, not to measure anything, but as a straight edge, something that I can butt my knife up against so that I can draw the knife across the paper up against the ruler. That'll make sure that my cut is straight. So I'm going to start with the right side of the skimmer, line my ruler up. I'm starting here. I'm going to hold the X-Acto knife like I would a pencil. I'm going to push down firmly, and then I'm going to make sure that no part of me is in the path of the knife. When I drag it across, my thumb isn't sitting here. Everything looks good. Draw it across our paper. Beautiful. See, did we cut all the way through? No, we didn't. That means we need to push a little harder. There we go. Beautiful. And if you find that you feel the need to push really, really hard to get it to cut the paper, let me know and I'll get you a new blade. It just means that the blade is dull. Do the same thing over here. Next, we're going to separate the skimmer from everything else. We're going to make a long cut right here. Alright, for really tiny cuts, like these fins, I can just do that freehand. If you feel comfortable that you can do that without a ruler, I'd say go for it. It's the longer cuts that it's helpful to have the ruler. Now remember, we're not cutting here or here. We're just cutting the outside of the air scoop. Alright, we're going to cap this knife because we're done with it. Put it back where it's supposed to go. When we make our folds on our skimmer, it's important that they're clean and crisp. And to make sure that that happens, I like to use a ruler. I'm going to set my ruler up against the line that I'm folding on, and I'm setting it on the short end of the fold. So there's not a lot of paper here. There's a lot of paper here. So I'm going to put my ruler on the side of the line that does not have a whole lot of paper. Line it up as best you can. Push down on that ruler. Make sure it's not going to move. And then we're going to pick up our paper and just fold it right along our ruler. About 90 degrees, maybe a little bit past that. Beautiful. We can work with that. Do the same thing over here. I should have folded this first, but I didn't. We can still make this work. I'm just going to use the short end of the ruler. Pull that guy right there. Come over to this side. Nice clean fold. Throw it in the middle. Good. That'll work. Same deal with the air scoop. Put the ruler on the short end of the fold. Next, we're going to add the fins to the back of our skimmer. We're going to do that with glue. Just take a glue stick. And you're going to spread glue from the end of that cut or the start of that cut to the end of your skimmer. To complete the back end of our skimmer, we're going to throw some tape between this flap and each wing. Last thing we need to do is add the air scoop. It does matter which way you place it in your skimmer. You want the small side facing forward, facing the tip of your skimmer. So it's going to go inside your skimmer like that. So we're going to spread glue on each of the sides, stick it underneath our skimmer, call it a day. Now you really want the top of your air scoop flush up against, let's call this the roof of your skimmer. So again, skinny side goes towards the front, We're going to push it up against the roof of our skimmer. Now, because it's kind of hard to force the air scoop against either side, you can take a ruler and then apply pressure on it that direction. That way you're pushing against something that's not paper, you're pushing against something that's solid. And the last thing we need to do is take a paper clip and slide it onto the front of our skimmer.